Hello and welcome to Channel's Book Club. It's great to be with you again this week. Thank you for always watching this show. Let's get started with an event organized to formally present the latest book written by a woman who is proud to be referred to as a feminist on a mission to see the vast potential of African girls and women realized despite all sorts of cultural, social, and economic obstacles. Later on, we'll show you an interesting encounter we had in Sharjah, United Arab Emirates, with a fascinating Dutch gentleman who has a passion for finding the oldest manuscripts, books, photos, and materials you can ever imagine. We were particularly intrigued by a book he showed us, written over 300 years ago. Remarkably, the book has something about Nigeria written in it. For a country that is short on historical literature about its origin, pre-colonial days, this should interest us. I'm sure you don't want to miss that segment. But first, enjoy this report on the book presentation.
Loud Whispers. It's a thought-provoking collection of essays written by Bisi Adeleye-Fayemi, one of Africa's notable feminist activists, thinkers, and civil rights advocates. Recently in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital city, captains of industry, leading entertainers, educators, and people from different sectors of Nigeria's socio-economic life were guests at the formal unveiling of Bisi Adeleye-Fayemi's latest book. It was as much of a social event as it was intellectual. There were stimulating questions met with frank answers.
Now, how much of fighting, how much of teaching, and how much of every other thing in between have you done in this book called Loud Whispers?
In Loud Whispers, there is a lot of what you might refer to as fighting, which is essentially whispering loudly about certain things that we all need to be doing something about: the rights of women, the rights of children, the rights of poor people. In terms of teaching, yes, writing is about teaching, but it's also about learning. Because I believe that for you to be a good writer, you have to be able to learn a lot and don't learn as well. You have to be able to read a lot. And every time I write, I learn. So that, there are some things I've not thought of before. I surprised myself, for example, with this book. I've never written fiction before, and I found myself dabbling into writing fiction, some short stories, and I felt very good about that. I don't know whether the experts in the room who are professional fiction writers will think I've done a good job, but I feel very happy with that.
Expectedly, some of the questions crossed borderlines.
What is your take on the political struggles and ambitions of Hillary Clinton and Grace Mugabe? If you agree that the two women represent two different visions, how does that help you to frame the complexities of women empowerment and their struggle?
Hillary Clinton has been a lifelong advocate of the need for citizens to stand up and own their spaces, whether they be civic spaces, political spaces, or human rights spaces. Grace Mugabe has been a beneficiary of the privilege and power that comes with being the spouse of a much older man who should have known better on a whole range of issues. The only thing they have in common is that they happen to be spouses of powerful men. And there's something that happens to you when you happen to be the spouse of a powerful man. No matter how much you have, your own accomplishments and so on, you are always cast in that shadow. It's important for women, regardless of whether they are married to a powerful person or whether they are doing things in their own right, to own their own visions and their own space.
Bisi Adeleye-Fayemi's vision to see the potential of women in Africa realized oozes through her and is a central theme of many of her essays.
It's important for men and women to work together on this agenda. Women have worked on this issue for so long. We keep pushing for laws, we keep pushing for policies, we keep demanding for rights. But we cannot do it if it's seen as a war of men versus women. This is supposed to be seen as an effort that we are all invested in for the sake of our children, both boys and girls. I'm the mother of a son. I don't want my son to grow up in a world where he's made to feel like a second-class citizen because all the women around him have made it and moved on. I want my boy to be a man. And for those who are my daughters, I want them to not to end up as some man's slave somewhere. So all of us have a stake in raising girls that are confident, that have self-esteem, and can have a career that can guarantee them a livelihood beyond waiting for some man to feed them for the rest of their lives.
The event had bits and pieces of multiple things, including transgenerational interactions and readings. Perhaps the reading that summed up the author's pain for the plight of young African girls is the one read by broadcast journalist, writer and poet Wana Wana.
The groping hands, feeling their panties, the pushing and pulling against their erections of wicked boys, one trying from the front, another prodding from the back. Oh, please fetch me a whip, a cane, a belt, anything to teach these stupid boys a lesson. Wannabe men who will indeed become men, boys who molest, abuse, and rape girls on their high school graduation day. They will graduate to campuses where they'll become cultists, where they will rape some more and abuse some more. They will become doctors who rape their female patients, teachers who harass their students for marks, pastors who cast out demons of only female members of the congregation, policemen who molest female suspects, politicians who raid treasuries and plunder the bands meant for the poor. They will make laws that turn around and rape those too. Why not? Impunity is embedded in their DNA. They were not stopped when the girls wore Spanx to school. Poor, sweet, innocent girls, whose main concern is not how did I do in geography. For all those who stood and stared and even took photographs of the poor girls fighting for their lives and dignity, shame on you, shame on you, shame on you. Let us say a prayer, everyone, for our girls who have to wear Spanx to school. May you never know danger again. May you grow to be strong, beautiful women you are destined to be. May the boys running around with scissors and open trousers wait till we catch you.